Hello, friends. Welcome to the IP Sales Department of Henry Harvin. IP stands for Institutional Programs, which means internally that we are selling in colleges. So, this is one of the foremost, the first department, the first sales department at Henry Harvin, a department which is very close to me. So, in IP sales, we majorly follow three stages. First stage is we make POCs. Second stage is we get expressions of interest that we call EOI. Third stage is payment collection. These are the three major stages: POC, EOI, payment. So your performance will also be measured based on these three metrics: EOI count, POC count, how many point of contacts you made, how many EOIs you made, and how many payments you got. Ultimately, that is the end goal, right? It all boils down to that. So now, POC means the point of contact, a person, a student within the college who would be representing Henry Harvin there, who we would either officially designate as a campus ambassador, or would not want a designation of campus ambassador and would not want to support us, right? So in return, what they get free course, they get some remuneration, and they get some recognition and some learnings. That's what they get in return to that. So everything is officially documented. All of these things which I'm telling to you right now, right? So if they want it in writing, we give it to them in writing. If they don't want in writing, we don't give it to them. It's also a dynamics which is all driven by what kind of people are becoming the POCs. Once a POC gets made, he or she is then responsible to float our content, which has a Google form also attached to it, to get expressions of interest, which is to get leads. They will be floating across different mediums on maybe their WhatsApp groups, not just their own groups, but maybe groups of people from other years, other branches, even in some cases beyond their own college, and get responses on the form. And then again another round of communication goes, but in this case not to the entire college but only to the people who have filled the form, telling them to make the payment, right? So in this case now a payment link will be there. Not just we will be sending them communication across mail, WhatsApp, etc., but also we will be calling them in this case now, right? So that these are the three stages: POC, AOI, and payment. Now we need to understand here, very price sensitive, because in recent times, because of the popularity of the free courses, the demand and the requirement for paid courses have increased, but tendency of people to pay for courses in colleges have decreased because companies like Coursera have tied up for free courses, right? So now in that case, what differentiates us is their competitive factor on the other sides, which is like providing them internship, providing them placement support, providing them e-learning portal, providing them with a hallmark certification, providing them with a job support. So all these factors really help us in differentiating ourselves with others, right? So even with the free courses, and not just it is not just a recorded, but it's a live online course. It's much more interactive. People get internship letter also, people do projects also, they get latest learning also. So a lot of a lot of additional points are there which differentiates us from the free courses, the MOOC courses, and the pre-recorded e-learning programs. So we have made different videos which you can refer to, different content which you can refer to understand yourself, to educate yourself. While you're floating content to generate EOIs, expressions of interest, the leads, float images, infographics, along with text message and then a Google form. So whenever you do any promotions, Google form is very important because that is what generate leads, and also put your number also if in case they would want to reach out to you, or the point of contact which you have. So your point of contact's number and your number should be there in every message, so that if people want to contact you, they can. But make sure that you don't forget to add the details in the Google form if they have not filled already. And once EOIs are filled, you have to get calls done in addition to floating the content to your ambassador. If in case your ambassador or your point of contact is reluctant in calling, then you call. Ultimately, the prime responsibility, which we would say, of your point of contact is to generate leads, EOIs. After that, even you can do also calling, but you cannot generate leads. They can only because they are on ground. Also, when you do promotions, half of the time, or maybe 90% times, your POC will lie, uh, maybe consciously or unconsciously. How unconsciously? Because they would say, okay, I've done WhatsApp promotion, right? Now, in the name of WhatsApp promotion, he or she would just load your content in just one or two groups, or maybe to a few people, and say that, okay, I've done the WhatsApp promotion, right? you see here, they have only reached out to a very short number of people, a very small number of people. So in this case, you have to clearly ask them specific questions and give them a specific task that okay, you have to float it uh, to over 600 students which are there in your 12 classes at the rate of 50 students per class. Find a person who can help you in maybe electrical branch, mechanical branch, electronics branch, civil branch, computer science branch. Individually track them that have you sent it on this group, please send me the screenshot, I have to report to my management, right? So put the blame on management, and in the name of management then you say that please send me the screenshot of the content which has been floated on that group. So that builds accountability. If you're asking for screenshots, and chances of fake commitments to you or fake declarations to you that I've done this particular task will get over, right? You will get at least honest opinions. So that is one challenge, that content has to be floated to people in all the relevant branches and all the relevant years. Not just that, you have to also make sure that once you get the responses within 24 hours they receive the payment link. That is, they receive the call also if required, or else you float some kind of content to generate payments from those, right? So that is the ultimate objective. Now, few points I wanted to share with you all. These are some do's and don'ts. Deliver what you promise. So whatever you have promised, make sure that you deliver all those things. After a batch is done in a particular college, give it a cooling period of 1 or 2 months. Clearly communicate the deadline of mailers, EOIs, and payments. Very, very important. Clearly communicate the deadline. Whenever you're floating any form to collect EOIs, put a deadline there always. Whenever you're communicating anything for payments, clearly put a deadline there. uh, Ambassadors should send the first mailer, and after that you may send it after that, but ambassadors should always send the first mailer, and they should only send the payment link first to the participant instead of you sending it. Only send it only if it is required, because something is better than nothing. If your ambassador is not working, then at least you do it, but first try that your ambassador only does it. Make sure that all the departments, all the years within the colleges are targeted. Do not involve faculty unnecessarily, because faculties only create hindrances, so try to avoid them as much as possible. Try to get rid of these permissions. Always keep backup in case of ambassador drop his candidature, so keeping a backup is very, very important. Finalizing course is very crucial with appropriate fees, so make sure that you finalize the course. Don't give that option of finalizing to your learners, to your ambassadors, to your point of contact. Even if you're asking them, taking their opinion, you have to conclude it there and then on the call itself, on the very first call. Don't linger it on for future. Uh, don't give multiple course options at a time. Give maximum 2 or 3 options whenever you're talking to your point of contact to help in deciding which course to go for. To motivate ambassadors and to increase trust, keep sharing media recognitions in WhatsApp groups. So whatever media recognitions which Henry Raven gets and other acknowledgements that Henry Raven gets, keep on sharing with them to keep on nurturing their trust on us. And never put halt on POC hiring, even if you are getting business continuously, because once college will be converted, you will have nothing for coming month, and performance will decline. So always keep on hiring POCs in that college, because if in case one POC refuses to work after 1 month or 2 months, your other POC will be ready to back you up, right? So make sure that you follow these rules. This will really help you in keeping your performance high and meeting your sales targets. So wishing you all the very best for your journey with Henry Haven. Thank you.